We've been introducing systematic reviews and meta-analysis. Systematic reviews are the collection of studies, usually trials, which ask the same study question. There is a predetermined protocol in which the authors state what they are searching for, how the search for studies was performed, which of the publications was found, which were included, and why. After that, there is a review of the study features and methods. What were the interventions, the length of follow-up, the definitions used, the outcomes, and other specifics. There is also the review of potential bias as a result of the methods employed. At this point, we can determine whether the studies are similar and valid enough to warrant a summary of the results. We feel more confident when the study results are not too different from each other, if they are homogeneous and not heterogeneous. When they are homogeneous, then an analysis combining the included study results is performed. This is the meta-analysis. Bluntly speaking, there are some who do not consider this design as true research. They would say it is a reanalysis of other people's work and there is no novelty. Let's remember, we're striving to learn and understand the nature of health, risks, disease, treatments, and their associations. Observations encompassing the acquired knowledge from a body of research larger than any single study can be novel, enlightening, confirmatory, or sometimes valuably disappointing. Valuably disappointing, I'll explain what I mean. We could have different studies with different results, some suggesting a treatment effect and others without significant findings. The different results will fuel debate and lead different professionals to provide different recommendations. A good quality summary of the available evidence could provide overall results that demonstrate that treatments thought to be beneficial are not. This is a valuable result, which would disappoint patients and professionals who were hoping the treatment would prove useful. But sometimes summaries might show that a debated treatment has overall useful and effective features. In any case, the statistical power of a meta-analysis is larger than any single trial. A meta-analysis has a higher probability to result in a treatment effect with statistical significance. This has to do with larger numbers. It's a mathematical feature. If the overall results demonstrate a significant association between the hypothesized cause and effect, it will likely be more accurate than any single study. On the other hand, if the results show no significant association, we can feel confident that we gave the hypothesis a better chance to prove itself and it didn't. So, systematic reviews and meta-analysis can teach us a lot, and even more. Another important feature results when we include subgroups which were never big enough to be studied separately or were neglected for other reasons. We can collect these subgroup results from different studies and assess the combined results which could provide a novel conclusion. For example, we performed a study which we haven't found yet to give as an example. For example, we might reach conclusions that all available evidence is too poor or different to warrant a meta-analysis. There is another angle to look at this. The larger the population on which the research was done, the closer we are to identifying or finding the truth. That is why larger studies are given more weight in a meta-analysis, and also the reason summary results are so important. If we follow with this logic, we can also expect larger studies to be accurate or more accurate than smaller studies. We expect larger studies to be closer to the truth. Let's have a look at this plot. On the x-axis, as usual, we present the results of interest. If we're assessing a relative risk or an odds ratio, the x-axis will be logarithmic. On the y-axis, we use the measure of study size. Usually, larger studies have smaller variance in their results, and that is very similar to reflect the study size on the y-axis. So the y-axis can either show variability in a decreasing scale or study size in an increasing scale. Now we can plot the study results on this new plot. Previously, in the forest plot, study size was depicted by the size of a square. Now it's the y-axis. The larger the trials, the more we expect the results to be similar. The smaller they are, we expect results to be less accurate and spread all over the place. This should provide a diagram in which the large study results get close and the smaller ones are distributed on a wider range. So we have a figure resembling a funnel. The narrow top and the wide bottom resemble a funnel, and we call this a funnel plot. Let's have a look at this plot. We see on top the results of larger trials, and the lower we go, the results tend to be on the left of the top studies. So what are we seeing? This isn't really expected. We just explained that we expect the smaller study results to distribute more or less evenly, either below or above the results of the larger studies. It's as if some studies are not shown in this figure. And that's exactly the purpose of this figure. It gives us a sense about the potential of publication bias. Publication bias occurs when there is a selective publication of results. Organizations with financial interests might prefer not to publish results of studies which are not favorable for their products. Additionally, we know that journals tend to prefer publication of studies with statistically significant results. If a drug showed significant benefit, or even if it showed significant harm, the chances of publication are higher than trials in which there was no effect found and the p-values were high. Now, you might feel that we are looking at this funnel plot and simply deciding with the eye test whether it is or isn't symmetrical. There are mathematical tests. The most widely used is called the Egger test. And the results of this test will usually be presented in the text of the manuscript or in the legend of the funnel plot. As always, there is much more to learn about these topics, and you are encouraged to acquire more knowledge and skills. On the topics of systematic reviews and meta-analysis, we direct you to the Cochrane Handbook, which is available online. We believe that improving these skills will help you provide better medicine and take better care of your patients. That's all, folks.